Controversy strikes El Clásico once again. Real Madrid's Jude Bellingham scored a decisive goal against Barcelona, but should it have stood? At the Santiago Bernabéu, referee César Soto Grado waved play on despite a clear foul in the build-up that left Pau Cubarsí on the ground. VAR didn't even intervene and Barcelona fans are furious. In this video we'll show you the exact moment that proves Bellingham's goal should have been ruled out, and why La Liga officials are under massive pressure once again. Proof: why Jude Bellingham's goal versus Barcelona should have been ruled out. Barcelona have endured a rough start to the first El Clásico of the 2025-26 season. Hansi Flick's men have looked far from their best, especially in defense, where both fullbacks have struggled to contain the relentless pressure from Real Madrid's front line. The Blaugrana found themselves punished early on when Kylian Mbappé finally broke through to open the scoring. Although Barcelona managed to find an equalizer soon after, their defensive lapses continued to cost them dearly. Jude Bellingham restored Madrid's lead, exposing once again the fragile nature of Barcelona's backline. Referee César Soto Grado has had a busy evening at the Santiago Bernabéu, with VAR already stepping in to review multiple key incidents. In fact, two major actions required video review in the opening stages of the clash. A potential penalty was ruled out following a check, and Mbappé's initial goal was disallowed. However, when the Frenchman did eventually find the net again, there was little Barcelona could do to stop him. Controversy surrounds Bellingham's goal. Real Madrid's second goal, scored by Bellingham, came without VAR intervention, something that has left Barcelona players and fans furious. The Englishman took advantage of a defensive mistake, but the sequence leading up to the goal was clearly questionable. In the build-up, Madrid centre-back Dean Huijsen appeared to catch Pau Cubarsí with his arm while contesting for the ball. The contact caused the young Barca defender to fall, leaving space for Madrid to pounce. Despite loud protests from the Barcelona players, Soto Grado allowed play to continue and awarded the goal without reviewing the action on the monitor. Television replays have since shown that Huijsen's elbow made clear contact with Cubarsí. Had the foul been recognized, the goal would have been disallowed. Instead, Real Madrid regained their advantage while Barcelona were left fuming at yet another controversial refereeing decision in El Clásico. Bellingham goal hands Real Madrid victory over Barcelona. Kylian Mbappé was also on target in a 2-1 win for Xabi Alonso's side. Real Madrid 2 Barcelona 1. Jude Bellingham's goal helped Real Madrid beat Barcelona 2-1 to win a tense Clásico and move 5 points clear of their bitter rivals at the top of La Liga on Sunday. Champions Barcelona won all 4 times the teams were pitted against each other last season, but in his first Clásico as Real Madrid coach, Xabi Alonso snapped that run. Kylian Mbappé, who later missed a penalty, fired Madrid in front, and although Fermín López leveled for the visitors at the Santiago Bernabéu, Bellingham netted a second for the hosts before halftime, which proved decisive. Barca playmaker Pedri was sent off in the final stages for a second yellow card as tension spilled over in the Spanish capital. Madrid's victory means they have won 9 of their opening 10 league games, and Alonso's side proved against Barca they can triumph on the big occasion, following their derby humbling by Atletico Madrid in September. Hansi Flick's team were led on the touchline by his assistant Marcus Sorg, as the German coach was suspended following a red card last weekend as they scraped a victory over relegation battling Girona. Barcelona were without several regular starters, including Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski and Dani Olmo among others, while Lamine Yamal still does not appear fully fit after a groin injury but started. The teenager wound up Madrid fans in the week by claiming Los Blancos steal and complain, and his name was greeted with a chorus of jeers when read out before kickoff. Barcelona had more of the ball in the first half, but it was largely sterile possession and Madrid created the most dangerous opportunities. The hosts were awarded an early penalty when Yamal appeared to bring down Vinicius Jr. However, it was cancelled after a VAR review as it was the Brazilian initiated the contact. Madrid fans' ire at the officials grew when Mbappé blasted home from outside the area, but the goal was ruled out for a millimetric offside against the French superstar. Mbappé did not have long to wait before he could celebrate in earnest, after superb work by Bellingham sent him through on goal. The forward, the division's top goalscorer, netted his 11th league goal of the campaign with a lethal low finish past Wojciech Szczesny. The goalkeeper made a good save from Dean Huijsen while Bellingham and Fede Valverde went close as Madrid took control. Szczesny stopped efforts from Vinicius and Bellingham again, and it was against the run of play when Barcelona equalized. Arda Güler gave away possession in a dangerous area and Marcus Rashford, playing in his first Clásico, crossed for Lopez to blast the visitors level in the 38th minute. Bellingham struck Madrid's second 5 minutes later to give Los Blancos a deserved advantage at the interval. The England international, who scored his first goal at the Bernabéu since April in midweek against Juventus, gleefully tapped home after Eder Militao nodded Vinicius' cross back into his path. Mbappé penalty saved. Madrid should have extended their lead at the start of the second half, but Szczesny made a fine save to push out Mbappé's penalty, after Eric Garcia was penalized for handball. Yamal, frustrated and struggling to make an impact on the game, sent a long-range shot high over the bar as Madrid closed ranks and kept the Catalans at a safe distance from their goal. Madrid looked the more threatening in the final stages despite Barca needing to score, able to bring on Rodrigo and Brahim Diaz, while Barca had little in the way of attacking reinforcements. Real Madrid finally broke their 4-game losing streak in El Clásico with a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Barcelona at the Santiago Bernabéu. All the action came in the first half. Kylian Mbappé opened the scoring for Madrid after a slick move, before Fermín López equalized for Barca with a powerful strike. But just minutes later, Jude Bellingham restored Madrid's lead, capitalizing on a defensive lapse to make it 2-1 before halftime. In the dying moments, Barcelona pushed hard for an equalizer, even sending centre-back Ronald Araujo up front as an emergency striker, just like he did in their win over Girona. However, Thibaut Courtois stayed solid and denied any late drama. Tensions boiled over in stoppage time when Pedri was shown a second yellow card for a foul on Tchouaméni, sparking shoving between players from both sides. With this victory, Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid moved 5 points clear at the top of La Liga. A major statement from Los Blancos, proving they can deliver when it matters most. Checkered flag FT at Real Madrid in 2-1 at FC Barcelona. Soccer ball 22 foot at K Mbappé. Soccer ball 38 foot for Min. Soccer ball 43 foot at Bellingham Jude. Backhand index pointing right at emiratespic.twitter.com/W10AJMDelp. Real Madrid have the ball in the net 5 times. It took just 2 minutes for the first piece of action when Lamine Yamal fouled Vinicius Jr., and after a VAR check, it was overturned. It was an early controversial call in the game, which may have seen it given as it was not a clear error. It made the crowd even louder with Los Blancos starting well. The home team had the ball in the net again after 12 minutes thanks to Kylian Mbappé. It was a fabulous finish after Güler found him after a mistake in the Barcelona midfield. However, VAR intervened again with the Frenchman marginally offside. 2 big let-offs for the champions. They kept creating opportunities and Mbappé capitalized on the Barca high line. Jude Bellingham found him with a superb pass, the Frenchman scoring his 11th league goal of the season. It was well deserved and this time VAR was not needed. Both teams had half chances and 7 minutes before halftime Fermín López scored, with another Englishman Marcus Rashford with the assist. The young Spaniard drilled home after being well found by Rashford. 5 minutes later though Los Blancos were back in front. Bellingham made it 2 goals in 2 games, tapping home from close range. Eder Militao headed the ball back across the goal after a looping cross from Vinicius Jr. to restore their lead within minutes. Before the fans had time to breathe, Mbappé had the ball in the net again. This time it was a clear offside. The opening came from some brilliant work from Vinicius on the left side. The talking points continued early in the second half, when Real Madrid were awarded a penalty. It was a controversial call, but after the referee consulted the screen, it was given. Mbappé stepped up, and you would expect him to score given his form. However, Wojciech Szczesny made the save to deny him a second goal. The visitors had far more of the ball but did not create any clear-cut chances after the penalty miss. It was Real Madrid who had the ball in the back of the net again, but this time the linesman raised his flag for offside. The Catalan side was reduced to 10 men in the closing minutes when their star midfielder Pedri was shown a second yellow card for a lunge on Aurélien Tchouaméni. That resulted in both dugouts exchanging words, with a few subs seeing a yellow card. However, Los Blancos ended their terrible streak against Barca, winning 2-1. And there you have it, the full breakdown of the controversy surrounding Jude Bellingham's winning goal against Barcelona. Replay angles don't lie, the contact on Cubarsí was clear, and VAR's silence only fuels the frustration of Barca fans worldwide. Do you think the goal should have been disallowed? Drop your opinion in the comments below and don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more breaking El Clásico updates and Barcelona news every day.